Hello friends, it's Timothy here with JankDiverTim and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to play some Foundations, some best of 3 limited Foundations. Set came out yesterday. It's a core set. Not sure what else to say about it. We'll talk about some of the cards and some of the evaluations and stuff like that once we get into the draft. But core set gaming is back for the first time since, what was the last core set? 2021? Something like that. And let me tell you, it feels like a core set based off of the 3 or 4 drafts I've done and the couple pre-release sealed events I've done. Before we do that, I want to remind you that JankDiver Gaming is a cube-related community. We do a lot of cubing in our Discord community on Wednesdays, Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays. You name it, we've got some cube stuff going on. And if you're just a limited junkie like me, there's plenty to talk about. Come share your trophy deck list. Come chat about the new set. Come give us your opinions and your hot takes. And come get on the leaderboard. Whatever you're interested in doing, whether that's coming with us to play Cube or just talking about the retail limited set or constructed or whatever, there is a link to our Discord in the description down below. Come join us. Say hi. Be great to have you. If you're watching on YouTube, which I guess the only place you'd be watching is on YouTube, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Actually helps out quite a bit. But we are here to play some Foundations. Sorry, just the 4 images here. I already have a best of 1 draft queued up, so we are going to do best of 3, which I just enjoy more anyway. If you've watched any of my other limited videos, you'll know that I'm a junkie for best of 3, and I kind of despise best of 1. That said, the archetype's pretty straightforward. If you haven't really dipped your toe into Foundations yet, but you are pretty seasoned or even like a moderate Magic player, you will understand a majority of what's going on. The set is half reprints, half of it is new. The new cards are not super complex. There's no new mechanics in the set. So it is like core set gaming at its finest. And some of the gameplay has been good. I've completed 3 drafts and played a couple matches of another draft. My first impressions, outside of like the set being kind of like like in terms of complexity and interest and factor and stuff like that. I think white has shown itself to be just very, very powerful. There's a lot of just really good white commons. Black also strikes me as really good off the back of its synergies, like the life gain deck and black-red sacrifice being a thing. Those decks have looked pretty strong as well, and there's a lot of good black removal. Green seems okay to me. Red and blue are the 2 that are kind of lagging behind for me right now. But again, this is day 2. Like, I can have all my speculative pick orders and stuff like that. We'll talk about individual cards as we're drafting. But just know that I'm like higher on Abzan colors than I am on blue-red. Though, I also played against an absolutely disgusting blue-red deck. So that's probably there in the format as well. Let's see what we got. It's best of 3, so I don't get to say hi to anybody. Got a cool mythic rare, though. I'm not actually sure it's even the best card in the pack. I'm going to take it because I am in the phase of a new set where I want to try out the new cards. And honestly, a 4-mana 3/3 Flash Flyer is actually just pretty good anyway in Limited. Don't know how I feel about this card for Cube or for Constructed, but for Draft, like, I think the notes are all here, even though I did say blue is one of the weaker colors. Sunblessed Healer might actually just be the best card in the pack. In fact, I'm willing to bet Sunblessed Healer pans out as a stronger card than Sphinx of Forgotten Lore. This is just a fantastic uncommon. Like, you play it as a 2-drop, it's great. You play it as a 4-drop, it's amazing. Other cards here, Banish and Light, really good in this set. Balmor, maybe Balmor Wheels if I take the Sphinx and I can actually do blue-red spells. Bake into a Pie, good removal spell. Garruk's Uprising, I have had decks where I would have wanted this card but did not see it. So I think if you're going to do like a green stompy deck, Garruk's Uprising is one of the reasons to do that. Following up our Sphinx, we got a couple options here. So Big Fin Bouncer is a fine blue creature to follow this up with if I want to tie myself to blue. If I want to just say like, hey, I'm going to be blue, I'm going to cut blue, then I would take the Big Fin Bouncer. Outside of that, there's a Crystal Barricade, which is fine. More of a sideboard card, and this is best of 3. Healer's Hawk, kind of really good, and Blue-White Flyers is the blue-white archetype here, so I could see taking Healer's Hawk and trying to get lucky with some Empyrean Eagles. There's also Vampire Gourmand, which I think is very strong in this limited set on account of the Act of Treason variant being red, And then there's Ruby as well. So I'm really looking at Healer's Hawk and Big Fin Bouncer. I could see an argument for the Gourmand, but it's the card that goes least with my Sphinx. I'm going to go ahead and take Bouncer. Starting off with 2 4-drops is a little suspicious. Of course, weigh in the comments what you would take here. I think Healer. Let's try to see if we can lean towards blue-white flyers. I'm not going to take Omniscience. That's not going to be my pick today. There are some really good cards in the pack. I think the best card in the pack is probably just the Fiery Annihilation. This is a really good removal spell, and sometimes it hits an equipment like a Gold Vein pick or something like that. As far as blue-white cards go, Arbiter will also being good. If I had taken Gourmand, I would probably take Arbiter, but all 3 of these cards are great. Fleet and Distraction, actually kind of interesting with Sphinx. It just lets our Sphinx cantrip on attack. Prideful Parent I found to be really good. I would rather end up in a white deck than a blue deck if I had to give up one of these cards. And Fleet and Distraction, I want the spell payoffs. I want a reason to have a bunch of these in my deck before I start taking them, and I don't think Sphinx is quite a huge incentive. This card does actually kind of bridge the gap between the two, but I found the kind of go wide decks to be quite good. Ashru Animist coming 4th pick is a pretty big sign. This is a strong card. It doesn't go with anything that I've picked already, though. 4 mana, 4/4 trample, and it attacks. It gives another creature trample and, power toughness equal to this thing's power. It's just enormous attack. There's a Tati over here, which is very strong as well. There's also a Helpful Hunter, which I could just take the kind of 2-drop and fiddle around a little bit more. The thing with Tatiova is I don't even know if I'm going to end up blue. I have a desire to end up blue, but I don't know if that's going to happen, which if I take Tatiova here, it's pushing me into 2 additional colors, and I think I have just a really strong white card. Helpful Hunter plays out very well in the format. Infernal Vessel also, I think this card is quite good. So this whole first row of 4-drops, I'm giving up some power. I think all 3 of these cards are better than Helpful Hunter, but Helpful Hunter actually goes with some of the cards I've already picked up. There's a Micromancer, another Fiery Annihilation. There's that Involuntary Employment. I will say, if you're playing this, be on the lookout for the red-black deck. There's a lot of ways to sacrifice things, and Involuntary Employment being a common just kind of pulls that all together, even though red-black is not really supposed to be the quote-unquote sacrifice deck. Micromancer, I love this card in DMU, but the power of the 1-drop spells you're getting in this set are way lower than what you were getting in DMU, so I think this card is not amazing, and is really not a pull into blue for me right now. I could see changing my tune on that later on. I think I'm going to take Fiery Annihilation here. Meteor Golem, 7-drop. I have not felt compelled to take a Meteor Golem yet, let's just put it that way. Now we're looking at Big Fin Bouncer, which I could definitely take the Big Fin Bouncer. There's a Crackling Cyclops, too, to go with the the Spellsy deck. Dreadwing Scavenger's nice, but I'm leaning more towards white than I am blue. Though, I don't know, this is a strong reason to be blue-red. I don't think we can really be Jeskai. And then there's poor old Shivan Dragon, though I do think Shivan Dragon's a good finisher in this set. I think I'm going to take Bouncer here. Crackling Cyclops, also interesting. If I had gone more down the Fleet and Distraction line, then Crackling Cyclops would look a little bit more appealing. Runaway Together is a card that I like way more than most people, and actually looks like kind of good. I have 3 ETB creatures. Could also take Rune Sealed Wall, which this is ostensibly a blue-white flyers card, right? And probably a good one. It gives me, what's that card? I haven't actually played with or against this yet, but this gives me Sigiled Starfish vibes back when Sigiled Starfish used to be a good card. And this is a core set. Being able to filter, being able to get past lands and get past pockets of lands is really good. So Surveilling every turn seems kind of nice. I don't know if it's going to make the final deck. Oh, wow, that's a Fiendish Panda here. Very strong life gain payoff. The black-white life gain deck is real. There's nothing else in this pack that I can even consider, so I guess I'll take it here. Is there a way I end up in black-white? Probably not, but we've been pulled in a couple different directions. We'll have to... Hopefully, Pack 2 gives us a little bit more of a solid idea of where we stand, plus the stuff that wheel. So notice Balmor is not in this pack. Not that we thought Balmor was going to wheel, but it could have. Self-Reflection, kind of cool with some of the stuff we've got going on. think this might actually just be a Goldvein pick deck, especially if I do end up splashing. The mana fixing in this set sucks. There's only one of these in 50% of packs, and there's all 10 of them, so you just don't get good mana fixing that often. Witness Protection, a little bit on the weak side, but I don't want these red cards. I really don't want Witness Protection either, but we shall see where we go with that. I guess I could have taken the 4-drop. Get a free Omniscience here. Thrill of Possibility, I guess, with the Sphinx is nice. I have no blue-white spells to go with this Sphinx, so that's a little bit sad, but I guess I'll take some gems here. Gleeman Barrier looking pretty dorky. Could have had a good sacrifice deck. It's kind of going around, but we're not really poised to take advantage of it. Gleeman Barrier I don't want in my deck if I can avoid it. So I would not say that pack went super well, though we get some options here. Solemn Simulacrum, I think, fits the context of what I've seen from this set pretty well. And like I said, the fixin' is bad, so just even a 4-drop go fetch a land is nice. I'm looking at Mischievous Mystic here, which kind of is my way of saying, hey, I'm solidifying myself into blue-white. I don't yet have, outside of Helpful Hunter, I don't yet have ways to actually draw multiple cards per turn. This is a 2/1 flyer for 2. There's also just the Felidar Savior if I didn't think blue was going to pan out. I think this is just a rock-solid 4-drop. We played with this card in an older core set. I think I'm going to take the Mischievous Mystic. But I could see a case for Solemn. I could see a case for Felidar Savior as well. Ooh, Sarah Angel and Spectral Sailor. And another Big Fin Bouncer as well. I have seen Sarah Angel decide a number of games. In fact, I think every game so far where Sarah Angel has come down, whether I played it or whether an opponent played it, the Sarah Angel won the game. That said, Spectral Sailor seems like a much more important card for decks. Just, again, finding ways to mitigate Flood, finding ways to mitigate Mana Screw, stuff like that. This one doesn't help with Mana Screw, but I'm sure time will tell whether you want the big beater or the late game draw engine, but I'm going to take Spectral Sailor, and we're pretty locked into, I guess we're not locked into white, are we? We haven't really seen, I mean, we have seen good white, but we're not taking the good white. There's another shot at Tatiova. There's also a Dazzling Angel, just a good 3-drop flyer. Really, really want an Empyrean Eagle at this point. Evolving Wild, I'm pretty sure I'm not playing this Fiendish Panda, and Tolarian Terror doesn't really fit what we're doing right now, so I'm coming down on Angel versus Evolving Wilds. Joust Through is also a decent removal spell. I think I'm just going to take the Angel, lean towards blue-white flyers, hopefully get some Empyrean Eagles sent our way. A lot of cards that look enticing here that I think are actually not that great. Ether Eyes. This is best of 3, so you can board it in and out. A lot of times this card will just rot in your hand. There's Claws Out, which I do have the cats. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Claws Out. So one of my suspicions here in this set is that the go wide kind of creature pump effects, which there were quite a few of, are actually quite good. Obviously Overrun's great, but there's a lot of +1/+1 to your team type effects. And this is a way to close out with flyers. And I've got a couple cats. You really only need to get this down by at least 1 before it's manageable. I think Mock and Sprite sucks. I think Ether Eyes is a little bit of a trap. I could see taking the blue-red land. Brineborn Cutthroat versus an Icewind Elemental. How much am I playing at instant speed here? I have currently 2 spells I can play at instant speed, not counting this, because I'm not going to fire that off on my opponent's turn very much. So Brineborn Cutthroat looking a little less exciting. Could take Icewind Elemental, though. This has been a fine 5-drop. It's worse than Sarah Angel. Though it does give me another trigger for Mystic. It is another flyer, if we can make that matter. The Blue-White Flyers theme, doesn't really have payoffs outside of Empyrean Eagle. Which is fine. It doesn't need it. I'll take Runaway Together now. Rogue's Passage, interesting, but the mana's just bad in the set, so Rogue's Passage just adding a colorless land over a colored mana source seems pretty bad. And Runaway Together, I do like playing with Runaway Together. I know it's never been a premium card, but I find that you can trick people with it quite nicely. Again, good red-black deck could have come together here, but I didn't jump on it. Balmore, wow, nine lives familiar as well. I don't think we're set up for Tolarian Terror that well. Absolutely not. 4 instants and that's it. We're not going to play this Fiendish Panda, so the blue-black land doesn't look super exciting. Balmore would look nice, but I just don't have the spell density on top of that being a red card, so I might just take gems here, honestly. I just don't think a second runaway together is what we want. Elvish Archdruid. Fleetin' Flight, maybe? This is so much worse than a lot of the 2-mana versions of this effect we've seen because it only affects combat damage. It does not just, like, give your creature indestructible or anything like that. But take it there. Oh, wow. Wheelin' Felidar seems incorrect. Yeah, this is great. And slots into a blue-white Flyers deck perfectly well. Just dump some counters on your Flyers. Don't really want to play Armasaur in my final build, but if I just don't get better cards, we'll do it. This is late, too. I guess I'd take Windscarred Crag. Tolarian Terror is just not going to be what this deck is about, and Windscarred Crag does actually give us an opportunity to play Annihilation, potentially. So, yeah, picking up 2 red fixers. Thousand Year Storm. Cool card. Feels like kind of a wasted slot. But things like Brass's Bounty, you know. Alright, another 9 lives. We get another shot at Sun Blessed Healer, which is awesome. Just a very good 2-drop to kind of fill things out. Trade off. Outside of that, there's a Big Fin Bouncer, which probably play like any amount of these cards, just good. Heir Apparent, I guess. I had a deck with 3 of these, but never assembled more than 1 at a time. But yeah, good 2-drop. Like I said, oh, Robbo, holy crap, that's huge. So not only is a Robbo a cat for our Claws Out, but my god, this card plays out so insanely well. You wouldn't think it would. It'd be like, haha, lol, how many other cats am I really going to get? But all the best commons in white are cats. Like, look at our deck. We have like 3 of them. Felidar Savior, Prideful Parent, Helpful Hunter, all cats, and they're all just good cards on their own. I mean, on its own, this card is 3 mana for 2 2/2s, and then if you follow up with even 1 other cat, you suddenly make another 2/2, and it pumps the cat you played. So, like, this into another cat is adding, like, +4/+4 to the board. Inspired Paladin, Savannah Lions, Make Your Move, and Luminous Rebuke, I think, are both pretty good. I like the Rebuke more, but I have seen Make Your Move be relevant. Ooh, another Thousand Year Storm? Probably not. That said, don't really get much of a pick from this pack. I guess I could take an Uncharted Voyage as just kind of like sad removal, because I'm not splashing a Dreadwing Scavenger. I'm not going to play a Meteor Golem, I don't think. Yeah, okay. I'm not super happy about that, but it's fine. Now here, do I want to take an Icewind Elemental number 2 to replace this guide, or do I want a Make Your Move? I really do not respect this Mockin' Sprite. Maybe there's a blue-red deck where this card is fine, like a Balmore deck, but this card was not even good in Wilds of Eldraine, and the creature type mattered there, so I see no reason to think the card's good here. I'll take my first Make Your Move. I found there's so many targets for this. Big creatures, and sometimes you nab like a Banish and Light or an Equipment or something like that, so take my first Make Your Move. Oh, that's kind of a gift. What's the wizard count? 1 wizard. One of your finest wizards, please. This guy. Admittedly kind of good. That said, 5 mana draw 3 might just kind of be good in this format. I don't know. I don't think we're there on Balmore. 6 instants, but off the splash again is not really working for me. Might play in this Fiery Annihilation. I'm not sure yet. Ooh, Kraken, blue-white land, and Refute. All, I think, arguably strong cards. The blue-white land makes it a little easier to play a red card. Kraken's a 6-drop. You just don't need 6 drops, though I think this is a good 6-drop. And then Refute, I think, is actually pretty good. I think I'm just going to take mana. I'm already at playables. I'm going to have to cut cards. I would have liked some other things in that pack, but wow, that's a Burst Lightning. I think I'm going to take it. I'm already considering splashing red. That's a great card for the Sphinx. Self-Reflection probably does some cute stuff, but that was a 7th pick Burst Lightning. Yeah, there's probably a Balmore deck that I could have drafted here too. I'll have to go back and look at this, but a red-black deck and a blue-red deck both kind of like presented themselves and I didn't jump on them. And I didn't see any, like, it's not like blue-white flyers was super open. Do I want the prowess dude, or do I want just another red fixer? I think I've got Burst Lightning and Fiery Annihilation. I'm just going to take another mana fixer, shore up the red, play like one mountain, and not hurt my actual colors here. 3 mana, 2/3. When you draw your second card each turn, put a +1 counter on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 25. Already making 2 cuts. I'm taking gems over that. Another make your move. Also another red-white land. How much red fixin' do I really need for these? This is best of 3. Make your move is a good good sideboard card. I think I'm good on the fixin'. For 2 red cards, I think I'm okay on the fixin'. Oh, wow. What is this? What is this? Again, did I mention there was a good red-black deck here? I can't play anything there, so... I like this card. I know people, like, I haven't heard any talk about it, but I do like the way this card is played out, just for what it's worth. There's half of the Splinter Twin combo. Okay, did I end up in the most optimal deck for my seat? No. In fact, I think my first pick, Sphinx of Forgotten Lore, kind of pushed me into a color that wasn't optimal for my spot. That said, I think I have a functional deck here. So first things first, Armasaur gone. What else just stands out as like a no-go? Oh, Gleeman Barrier. Probably. Yeah. I think that's just going to be the deck. I don't love the Witness Protection, but it does stave off like an early 3/3 or something like that. I kind of like the Rune Sealed Wall. As far as closing out the game goes, I don't have a lot of options, but I don't know that putting any of these cards in my deck really changes that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to run it like this. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8. So still 8, 9 on my main sources, and I get to kind of just slot in 4 red sources for free. I have a Gold Vein pick, which works nicely with the flyers and can help with the fixin' situation as well. Got some decent flyers, some okay disruption in the form of things like Big Fin Bouncer, make your move. I am probably just going to die to like a go wide, green white, or red white deck. I don't have great tools for combating that, but picking up that Arabo added a lot of power to this deck. Yeah, I could see the Arcane Epiphany also not being huge, but I would rather main deck the big draw spell, and then for game 2, like, bring in the second make your move or something if that's more important. But that's going to do it. Let's go ahead and jump in and see how this does. A lot of different avenues I could have taken for that draft. We saw 2 Tatiovas as well. Tatiova's still a very powerful card. Alright, match 1 against Tutor G. No white mana, but on the draw, 9 white sources? Maybe it's 8 white sources. Seems okay. Seems okay on the draw. Got a Burst Lightning. If I draw any land, even if it's just like my mountain or my islands, it unlocks Fiery Annihilation. And we drew the white. So we're kind of cooking, as the children say. We're kind of cooking. Mischievous Mystic. That can eat an immediate Burst Lightning. And we'll go and get down the other cliffs here. This card is probably optimal in blue-black. There's some combos with this card where you can just trigger it every turn. Alright, no play from opponents. They could have Essence Scatter. I'm just jamming my Prideful Parent here. They're going to stab it. You wouldn't stab a tiger, would you? You wouldn't stab a cat. Not in front of its baby. What's wrong with you? I guess the baby wasn't there yet. And they had some other second form of interaction there. Clinked Quant Sky Mage. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1 counter on it. Okay, we did not draw land. Don't necessarily feel like I have to Fiery Annihilation that right away. I could just Witness Protection it. Get this stupid wall down. The wall looks like it's going to be bad in this matchup if they're just putting flyers on board, but this could actually get to the point where Make Your Move kills it. I'm going to attack. I'm going to hold the Fiery Annihilation for now and just use 3 mana on a 3-drop. I could upkeep the wall here as well. I guess if they don't put a creature on board. Ouch. I've been quinquanted. They're not gonna like haste creature me, right? Sunblessed Healer. Is that really what we want to draw here? Ooh, they cast Arcane Epiphany. That's gonna be kind of annoying. Could be some number of flash creatures they can have here as well. It's kind of a hard card to say no to, but I do need to draw lands. Or how about a 4-drop? Best I can do is a 4-drop. Alright, let's see if we run into some sort of doopy doop. That said, okay, they didn't end of turn anything. So I'm going to take a hit here. Okay, they just don't have anything going on. I think I'm going to fire this off and see if it just resolves. If they have interaction for it, that's fine. I've got to make your move. Okay, they're refuting, sure. That's actually going to trigger that now, and I can make your move on my turn. And they had another stab in hand as well that they didn't use. Again, not optimal, but I think I'm going to just go ahead and kill this thing while I can. And hit for 1. Okay, Tolarian Terror is down. You got it. 0/6 does block that quite well. Do I want to draw Helpful Hunter? Kind of. I could make this a legitimate business person. Costs my whole turn to do it, but... And then I'm going to attack with my 1/1, because if they want to trade and just get that off board, it does mean that like some sort of weird bounce thing doesn't get me later on. Now I have no pressure. Hopefully they don't just slam like another big creature here. Okay, they have... Oh, okay. Oh, they brought back the Sky Mage into Vampire Nighthawk. Okay, gross. Sphinx is actually a pretty good draw, because what it lets me do is, assuming they don't just draw into removal spell interaction or whatever, it lets me block this stupid thing and then attack, flashback the Fiery Annihilation. So that's going to go up to 2/2. If they drew like an instant speed draw spell or anything like that, I'm going to be in trouble. But if they drew interaction, that's bad. Like Fleet and Distraction, removal spell. Okay, that's not the worst thing that could have happened. It does mean their attack goes through. Also means my attack goes through. I'm going to draw an island here. Yep, tap that down. Hit me for 4. Alright, and I kind of... Okay, what am I doing? Am I killing the Vampire Nighthawk or am I killing the Quint? You have to pay the mana for the Sphinx. I think what I want to do here is use the Burst Lightning. I could use... Getting these creatures on board just doesn't matter that much is the problem. I think I'm going to use the Burst Lightning just to use up my mana this turn. They're not going to block. And do I want to take 1 extra damage? So that would put me down to 8 if I killed this instead of this. I think I'm going to take the extra point of damage and not let them lifelink again. This wall looking really bad against my opponent's Oops All Flyers deck. Alright, take 5. Surveil. Arabo can stay on top. That's going to be part of the plan for getting back into this. And I'm going to attack you. I'm going to Fiery Annihilation. Just do that now. Oh, they drew something? Oh man, what did they draw? Oh wow. And that's gonna make their creature bigger too? Oof. Alright, so I am in trouble, is what you're saying. Wow, that was okay. That was a rough draw. Wow, their last two draws when they needed them were Fabro trick or Fabloom trick into refute. What was I supposed to do about that? All right, I'm very dead, I think. Burglar Rat's okay. Discard the Gold Vein pick, and then that can go away. I think I need to draw like Healer's Hawk. Voyage doesn't help because I'm at 1. No way to gain life. Yeah. They got me here. No point in showing them a removal spell or something. Okay, I feel like that I stabilized and then they hit a couple lucky draws. I do not want this wall if they're just not going to pressure me on the ground. Make your move kills 2 of the creatures we saw and doesn't kill anything else that we saw. So that looks a lot worse. And my other play is a 5-drop, the Armasaur. The Armasaur seems pretty bad. And this is more of an attrition matchup, so the Claws Out doesn't even look good. But this wall is just horrendous against everything I saw. I guess it blocks Tolarian Terror, but I think I'm going to take... I'm just going to put another Make Your Move in. Opponent's deck looks better than mine. I'll definitely give him credit for that. That said, they did draw 2 pretty ideal back-to-back cards to stay in that game, which is nice, obviously. All right, Healer's Hawk and Gold Vein pick, sure. No red source right now, so the Healer's Hawk's going to have to survive to pick up a pick. I was going to say, they could also just stab me. That would kind of put a stop to that, wouldn't it? Don't care too much about Diregraph Ghoul. I'd rather have them play something like that. Alright, now if I go for pick and they stab, like... They showed me 2 stabs. I don't really need to go for pick, though, do I? Alright, I'm going to play a Rabo here. I can't go for pick there, right? I need the pick to land on something. Alright, they're going to stab a Rabo. My opponent's deck is very good. Alright. I mean, same thing. So, we saw Refute. I think what I can do here is just equip to the cat. And just not play into Refute here. I'm going to play out my land. Annoying if they have Burglar Rats, but... Clinquant. Let's let the Diregraph Ghoul come in, and then we'll Burst Lightning here. Actually, yeah, Burst Lightning. I was gonna say 1, 2, 3. Actually, the Fiery Annihilation does kind of what Burst Lightning does, and then next turn I'll have 6 mana if I draw a land. I could go this plus Burst Lightning. I'm actually gonna use the Fiery Annihilation. That's gonna be so bad if they play. Okay, I'm overthinking. Some argument for keeping the Burst Lightning. All right. I figured it out. I'm doing this because the Burst Lightning as 4 damage to the face actually matters. And I didn't draw what I would have needed to draw there anyway. I think I'm going to Sorcery Speed this to try and hit lands and play around Refute. Okay. So yeah, this has utility as just 4 damage to the opponent's face, right? And I just attack with Healer's Hawk here. I'm just going to attack with both of these. And then if they refute on my turn, they don't actually get to use this. If I play this, they refute it. That's not that bad. Maybe it gets him closer to a cheap Tolarian Terror. And I don't feel like I have to Burst Lightning the Mystic right away. But I suppose I get to keep up a Mystic here. This is 1 to equip. I'm going to just keep up Burst Lightning, I think. No. Nah. Alright, let's see what they do this turn. Tolarian Terror, they could tap out for it. Okay. Sure. And that looks like a legitimate business person if ever I've seen one. And then I'll play Dazzling Angel second main. Go and hit you for a bunch. See if they want to chump this Helpful Hunter here. Yep. Nope. Give me my treasure and play a Dazzling Angel pass. And we're definitely in the driver's seat here. It's going to take quite a bit to Burglar Rat. I'll discard Runaway together. And we'll just Burst Lightning the 2-1 here. Cha. And I guess we want to... that's better. Alright, they got a double block Hunter if they want it off the board here. I could keep Tolarian Terror on the battlefield by assigning all the damage, but I see no reason to do that. This is going to mill a card. This just makes it way more likely that I kill them next turn. What I could have done is just equipped Gold Vein Pick to one of these, hit them for 4, and then just try to hit them for 4 again. They were at 8, but... Okay. So we get to go to a game 3 against a bunch of Burglar Rats, Tolarian Terrors, and Flying Creatures. Counterspells, removal. Yeah, they've got a core set deck. I have like nothing in my sideboard that matters for any of that. So I think I'm just gonna run it back as it is. Again, wall looking just horrendously bad. I don't want to bring in more 5-drops, so sure. Fire it off, try to play smart against Refute, try to tit for tat in the early stages. I do think their deck is slightly favored. Okay. Yep. Let's run this out. Let's see if they rat me here. Gonna rat me. I'm gonna discard Gold Vein Pick. It's something I can get back with the Sunblessed Healer. Question, of course, is do I want to run out Sunblessed Healer, 0 value Sunblessed Healer? I don't think so, because it's trades with a rat. And if my Prideful Parent gets refuted, so be it. It's not that bad. Will you... They did not refute. They're going to stab it again? Oh, Fabloom Trick. Sure. I would rather that get used early on where it's not deciding a game, though it's obviously perfectly fine to just run out some extra flying power here. There's that Clinquant. Alright, trade with rats. Don't have the mana for Burst Lightning, but I get to attack for 2. I get to get back Gold Vein Pick, which maybe can get me that mana next turn. 3-1 Lifelinker, just perfectly fine here too. They can't terror me this turn. Take 4. Soul Shackle Zombie. Alright, opponent agrees the card is quite good. They exile their own creature here. I lose 2, they gain 2. They're putting on a lot of pressure in a lot of different spots, which is making this very rough. I think what I'm going to do... So Arabo pumps my Prideful Parent. And then I just equip the pick to the healer. Gives me a nice life total buffer. This will be out of normal Burst Lightning range. Okay, yeah, I think this is what we're doing. I'm going to play this pre-combat to pump the Prideful Parents. Hopefully they just let the healer through. Yeah, I don't see any reason why they would, but... Okay. Sky Mage is big now. Think twice, grows the Sky Mage. Think twice again, grows the Sky Mage again. Alright, so it's out of Burst Lightning range. We are racing and probably not winning the race. Because I take 7. They just kill me next turn if they attack, right? They hit me for 7. Next turn they hit me for 8. So I need to... Diagraphical is fine. I do get to play Mischievous Mystic. That's something. Might be on chump block duty, honestly. So let's equip to, I think, a Robbo so that I can play around stab. Okay, don't mind the block there. Play this and pass. And I guess the card I'm looking for is make your move, right? I'm just gonna keep my life total high here. Do I Burst Lightning the 1/1? I don't think so. I'd rather Burst Lightning this 2/2. Tolarian Terror, sure. This is rough. Oof. Alright, I mean, I got another chump blocker in this thing, but I think this game is ended. The 6/6 got out of control. I can't find my make your moves. I have no attacks here. Not feeling too good about that. Let's move that over here. Opponent's draw is good. Opponent's draw was good, and I couldn't get out from underneath this. Didn't have the Burst Lightning in time, unfortunately. I'm going to not block here. Like, if they have an instant speed draw spell, so be it. Wow. Double Think Twice, too, that we didn't see. Alright, we're going to take a loss in game 1. It's unfortunate, but like I said, I think my opponent's deck is just better than mine. If I had had an answer for that flyer, game would have gone different. If I had had a mountain and we could have Burst Lightning it, would have been fine. Game 1 could have gone a little bit differently, too. If I had drawn some lands or... My opponent's timely top decks at the end were just a little bit different, but we'll take the loss there. And come back for game 2, where we've got a slow hand, but it has all my colors, and it's got decent interaction and a draw spell. Let's see. Is it more likely I want white on turn 2 or red on turn 2? Probably more likely I want white. In case I draw a 2-drop white creature. Only red spell I could draw that would make playing this on turn 1 matter is a Burst Lightning, obviously. I think black-white is very, very good in this format, for what it's worth. They just made all the life gain cards really good. Like that one. Remember that one? Alright, I'm just going to play a Dazzling Angel here. If they attack, I mean, we just don't block. There's, like, giant growth. There's a lot of things to punish you for just taking a block like this. They could even like freebie attack, and I'm not sure I would call it. Okay, Blight Priest. Gotta watch out for this card because there's a stupid infinite combo with a mythic rare in the set. That said, I'm gonna attack. Maybe they tap out pre-combat and then I get them with the Sphinx here. They just attack as is. I'm not going to do anything. I'll take 5. They'll gain 1. Ouch, ouch, ouch. What you got, opponent? Looks like splashing green. Oh, pre-combat? Or post-combat? It's interesting. So that lets me use my Make Your Move on this Blight Priest. Now they got a bunch of life linkers on board. I mean, you have to target these two. I don't. you can only target these two. Opponent. I mean, I guess. Sure, let opponent figure it out. But okay, they figured it out. It's like there's only like one thing you can do here. Can't do anything cool with Sphinx here, so I think what I'm going to do is attack for 3, play Healer's Hawk, and pass. I could just get them while they're tapped out, right? But I could take like a block here, and if they want to use a pump spell and I get them with the Annihilation, that's fine too. If I lose, if I take 4 to this thing, it's like, sure. Vampire Nighthawk. Okay. I would prefer not to have to play against Vampire Nighthawk every game, but if we do, we do. Okay, so yeah, let's get them to use their trick. Hopefully it's not like blocking creature. Bite down there. Oh, I just killed both your creatures? That's awesome. Alright, this went basically as best as it could. Like, if I draw a land... Oh, they scoop to it too? The shame concession? Alright, that was a little bit greedy. How's the second make your move looking? It's not. Armosaur looks stupid. Okay, and I don't really want Gleam and Barrier against this stuff, so okay, run it back. Just 2 for 1 your opponent, and they will scoop. That's what we need to do. That was a pretty big blowout, to be fair. But they attacked with the Healer's Hawk, so I don't know. Alright, this is good, but slow. Okay, didn't want that. If I can do anything on turn 2, anything that affects the board on turn 2, this hand becomes great. Okay, Thespian is going to put the pressure on. Card still plays decently well. Ooh, yeah, that's something good. Do I just Burst Lightning now? I don't really want to get got by a combat trick, but at the same time, I don't want to give them the Surveil before they draw. Alright, have your Surveil, it's fine. Just, this goes so poorly if I try to do that on their turn and they like, Giant Growth my Burst Lightning. Dazzling Angel's a nice one. This is part of the reason I think the black-white deck just works so well, is normally this sort of effect is on like a really understated creature, like Soul Warden, or we saw Life Bond or Life Creed duo in Bloomburrow, but they just put it on like a good body. Here, I am going to attack with a 2/2. I'm going to leave my Arabo alone. I don't want to really run that into a trick until I know the trick's in the format a little bit better, and then I'm going to play a Prideful Parent, which will put 7 power and toughness worth of creatures on on board, and then I'll play a Spectral Sailor on their turn. Just, I mean, look, yeah, if Arabo goes away, like, suddenly my board's not that impressive, but this card alone has been worth 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 power and toughness worth of stats on a 3-drop, and they scooped. Okay, so either they're holding a bunch of black cards in hand, or they're just flooded, so not as interesting as our first match. Feather of Flight. Speaking of Bloomburrow, well, I mean, we get to go straight into match 3 pretty quickly. It's Corset. It's a Corset. I mean, what are you looking for? If you came here for riveting gameplay and, super intense strategic advice, I don't know that Foundations is going to give that to you. I would love to play first. Alright, another hand where the Goldvein pick could hopefully pull a lot of weight. Of course, if this just draws, this needs to draw, like, multiple lands to be good. I also need my opponent to not have a stab on turn 1 or something like that. Draysnip. That's not an ideal land. I'm going to play my 3/1 here. Nothing really to set up my graveyard to take advantage of the kicker, so just run out your 2-drop on 2, Johnny's Pridemate, and in the archetype where it's at its best. That said, I do get a Goldvein pick up here to really incentivize them to block this thing, and if they don't, it's great because I get to Burst Lightning. Ouch. Maybe there was an argument for not attacking, but I don't mess around with Pride Mate. Hungry Ghoul into Healer's Hawk, sure. Okay, don't mind drawing the land. I'm just going to go ahead and bounce their Healer's Hawk back to hand. Doing that over the Ghoul. Maybe I should just do the Ghoul, but like if they get a counter on this or something, it's worse. Alright, opponent's just playing a bunch of good cards. Can't block this Ghoul. I agree. It would take 2 creatures. Oh, if they have stab, I'm just dead. Yeah, let's see if they want to double block here. If not, I get the Burst Lightning. Alright, this isn't the worst. It does mean they're going to have an unopposed Healer's Hawk. This wall looking pretty bad. Everyone's just playing evasive creatures. Though, I don't know, what did we play against? 3. We played against blue, black, Abzan, black, white. So no red or green, or like actual green deck. My last opponent didn't really play a green deck. Sarah Angel. We do get to kill it. It's kind of nice. Just not mess around. Just do it right now. A couple protection spells like Fake Your Own Death. We do get a runed sealed wall going here. Should help us a little bit. Okay, so we were asking, this is like a big question mark for a lot of people in our communities. How good is this card? And we don't actually know. They should get Sarah Angel back right here. They're going to get like Helpful Hunter instead. Because, I mean, part of the appeal of a Gravedigger type card is playing it and then like blocking with it. But this one doesn't do that, so unless you're really far ahead, they should attack with Healer's Hawk there because I can pick, right? Do I want to draw Dazzling Angel? It's like fine, but it does nothing about the Sarah Angel. I think that's just a fairly weak draw. Yeah, they should have attacked with Healer's Hawk because I get to just do this now. Make a treasure. And then I can Burst Lightning down the Sarah Angel. Still dealing with 4 power flying in the air. But my life total's healthy, so we'll see. They just tap out for Sarah Angel. Huh. That changes things a little bit. I think I'm just going to Burst Lightning the Healer's Hawk now. Could also just Uncharted Voyage it. Okay. 2/3 lifelinker on the ground. Annoying. Huh. Wasn't expecting no block there. Representing a 1-mana trick as well. Alright, lands are going away forever and ever and ever. I think I'm just going to get rid of Healer's Hawk here. And I assume they're going to put it on the bottom. I'd be a little... Huh, that's also pretty good. Sure. They did put it on the bottom. So 4 mana to kill a 1-drop. Turns out the homie's still good. Alright, Mischievous Mystic, get in there. See if they got the Joust through here. Gains flying until end of turn. Guess I have to Burst Lightning that. Did not realize this gave flying. Alright, well this does remove my answer to the Sarah Angel. They're going to kill me pretty quick with 2 4-power flyers on board. Despite my best efforts. Felidar Savior, I guess? Man, not sure that actually... Like, what am I trying to draw to that's better than that, I guess, is my question. Because it does let me attack into Sarah Angel and keep the pressure on a little bit. Attack. I'm just going to keep the equipment there, I think. I guess what I can do here is the combination of Spectral Sailor and Mischievous Mystic will make a 1/1 flyer every turn, unless this obviously just dies right now. Oh, I didn't move the equipment. Dang. Okay. I'm just dead in 2 turns. Like, I can't even equip up the Felidar save. If I can find an answer to Sarah Angel, like, there's something here still, but... Vampire Gourmand. That is relevant when I'm at a low life total. Run away together is not actually terrible. So I could go run away together. I don't see myself winning this before they kill me is the problem. Go run away together, bounce this, equip Felidar. Get in a hit for 3, 4, 5. Gain 3 life is a pretty big deal. We should probably do this first then. That can go away. Bounce, bounce. Equip this here. Attack. Do I want to activate Spectral Sailor or do I want to play the wall to block a 2/2? I think play wall. Of course, they could make this unblockable, right? But I don't think they're going to do that unless it's a lethal attack. Big Fin Bouncer, I guess. I haven't drawn either of those. I've got 2 of them. Oh, I have drawn 1. Fiery Annihilation. Sphinx. Couple ways I can not lose here. I got something better to play than a Sarah Angel this turn. Negative. Okay, not what we wanted there. So I think we draw. Not good. Do we send Felidar Savior to its death? Because if we... Oh, I should have ruined first. They play anything they can sack to this. That's 10 unblockable damage, right? So either I chump with this... I'm gonna attack here. Hopefully they don't take the bait. And they just let it through. Damn. Our opponents, they're all smart. I hate it. Oh, that only put me up to 10. Was I still dead anyway? Alright. I don't think we're winning this game. In fact, we're actually just dead to any creature that hits the board here, so... I guess Spectral Sailor blocks here. I need to find, like, infinite answers for these things. I should have used the rune wall before drawing from the Spectral Sailor. I don't have the mana for that. Alright, you got me, opponent. You got me. Sure. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I wasn't going to win if they had removal in their hand anyway. Our Rabo's way too late. Alright, game 2 against some flyers. The 4-3 looked good there, but I didn't have any sort of pressure early on. Make your move looks okay here. Just okay, though. In fact, Sarah Angel's the only thing that really counts. The wall, again, looking just horrendous against people who are doing nothing but putting evasive creatures on board. Which is a bullet point, which is definitely something to bear in mind. Like, the card reads good to me, but if games are just going to come down to, you know, Healer's Hawks and Vampire Nighthawks and flying creatures, then an 0/6 wall only matters so much, right? Ideally, it's good at taking out, like, the 2/2s and 3/3s and stuff like that, but people aren't playing those against me right now, so... Let's play first. Yeah. needs a little bit of work. Witness Protection's a fine answer. Opponent's going down to 5 cards here. Witness Protection doesn't like stack up well against my healer, but I might actually just go Sailor into Gold Vein Pick. And I'm not going to use my mana super efficiently here. Yeah, I'm going to get the pick on board. If I knew I was drawing a 3rd land, I could play Sailor this turn and then go pick plus equip. But I get to do this. Opponent mold to 5, so I'll get a little bit of leeway. Stab. Everybody's so stabby. These poor prideful parents out here are just getting stabbed left and right. Sure, you got a Healer's Hawk. They're gonna stab the... Okay. I actually don't mind them using 2 stabs on this. So what I'm gonna do here is... Actually, I don't care so much if they do that. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and just put a 2/2 flyer in their way, which might just stave off the attack altogether. But even if they kill the Spectral Sailor, it's a good target to get back with the healer, right? Cool. That's fine too. And then I'm going to play a Dazzling Angel. And do I want to equip to a Dazzling Angel? I'll just keep, I'll keep it on my Spectral Sailor here. What you got, opponent? Okay, Bacon to a Pie, sure. I don't really care about the Healer's Hawk as long as it just doesn't have power on it. I'll get rid of Witness Protection. Hit me for 1. Ouch. Okay. Attack. And I think I'm just going to fire off Epiphany here. I'm going to not use my treasure for it. They go up to 20. It's like nothing ever happened. Both players are just at 20 life. They conceded. Okay. Fair enough. They mold a 5. I've got them on the card advantage front. And... wow. Yeah, they molded into 5 into double stabs. Kind of nice. Is this card good against them? Bacon to a Pie. They showed me make a move. That can't be good against them. Okay. It's a shame we have, like, no sideboard. I love best of 3 because of the sideboarding, but I've been in a lot of these... every single best of 3 draft I've done of this format feels like I have no sideboard. This is leaning on Mischievous Mystic a lot, but I'm going to keep it. If it draws white mana, it could do well. Of course, double stab does make Mystic a lot less likely to work. That's an awkward draw. That is an awkward draw. Do I want to get my 2/1 flyer down? Because I'm either taking a turn off now. I guess what I can do is take my hit and then next turn go Mystic plus Healer's Hawk and just make sure I'm getting my mana in play. This can hopefully flip the game around a little bit. Could also play Arabo, but I would rather them use their stab on these less important creatures. They don't have the stab. Wow. Okay. Okay, Vanguard Seraph, 4 mana 3/3 flyer, can surveil every now and then. Looks like kind of just like Bouncer, right? Because this into this is such a powerful turn that I would rather wait until I can do that. This gets in 3 damage. It's not like super impressive, but why didn't they attack with that Hungry Ghoul? Okay. Stab into land into Seraph. Okay, this is fine. Get that stab out of the way. Was hoping to draw planes there. Attack with Big Fin Bouncer. I don't really want to use this on the Angel. Guess I'm playing a Rabo and I will attack with the 3/2. They block with the 2/2. Yep. Fleet and Distraction would have been so nice there. So hoping they don't have an answer to a Rabo here. If they do, so be it. Helpful Hunter's still a fine thing to put on board. Okay, that's going to give him a Surveil, which is nice. The black-white land actually busted. The black-white bounce land. Normally these are all like equivalent to each other, but this one's actually just better. If you are in black-white and you have life gain synergies, you can actually just play the off-color stuff too. All right, let's go helpful. Actually, what I'm going to do is play... Nah, I'm not worried about instant speed interaction. Oh, they conceded. I was going to say, I've got, like, nothing going on. Did I enjoy that match? I'll give you a smile. It's fine. Opponent conceding pretty early there, though. I mean, was that the whole draft? Was that the whole thing? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that was it. All right, let's go look at the deck real quick. That was fast, or at least it felt really fast. All right, so again, I think I'm in a suboptimal blue-white deck here. The red splash, I think, was worth it. The gold vein pick helped. This thing was really bad, but in best of 3, I could have seen a world where I started it in my sideboard and then brought it in against red-green decks. It just so happened that all of the combat that happened in those 3 matches was in the air, so this didn't really ever get a chance to actually block. Other than that, was the Sphinx worth it? I mean, I guess. Like, the games went by so quickly that I didn't really get a feel for too much in the deck. I obviously got to show how good a Rabo is. The card's absurd. I lost to a better blue-black deck, like just a very solid blue-black deck, so we take our lumps there. Not too bad about the... Too upset about the loss there. Claws out didn't come up. Didn't matter. The sideboard didn't matter. So, I mean, Corset Gaming at its finest, like I said. Nothing mattered. I will go back and watch my video, because like I said during the draft, I think there was a red-black deck that would have been very good in my seat. And then the blue-white deck wasn't particularly open. We didn't see an Empyrean Eagle. We kind of got walked to trying out a new card here, which I like to do. I do like to try out new rares, and I think I would consider this as a first pick again, like being able to flashback a Burst Light and Fiery Annihilation. That was pretty strong. Oh, blue-red. There was red-black, and there was also a blue-red deck kind of lurking in my seat as well that I didn't really catch on to or didn't pivot towards. Got kind of tied to some of my white creatures, which paid off a little bit with the Arabo. I mean, people just scooped to it, even if my 2/2s couldn't attack in. The card is absurd. This is a very, very powerful rare, which reads like a good card and then just plays like an amazing card. A couple notes on this format before I go. I think Make Your Move is actually just really good. This was like super filler in Murders at Karlov Manor, but it seems like it just always has targets, and it blows out pump spells really, really hard. The white creatures, like all of these white cards are great. Claws Out is a little bit iffy. Like it didn't really feel like it would have mattered had I drawn it more there. But outside of that, like Dazzling or Prideful Parent, Felidar Sovereign, Helpful Hunter, Savior, rather, like these are commons. These are all commons. Healer's Hawk, really good in this format if you can get anything going with it. Those are great. And then blue felt like it was relying very heavily on uncommons here. Like my best blue cards were the 2 uncommons and the mythic rare, whereas the commons were kind of just whatever. Runaway Together, nothing special. Witness Protection, not that good. So I kind of, if anything, just solidified myself a little bit more in saying that black and white are at the top of the chain, blue's a little bit lower down the chain, and green didn't really show up much at all and wasn't represented in these matches very much. So hard to say if the needle has moved on that. So that's going to go ahead and do it. I wish I had a little bit more content. Maybe we'll get some more Foundation drafts in. I usually get like time to do 1 recorded draft per like set, but this thing's around till February. So if people are interested in seeing more Foundations drafts, let me know, and I'll actually make it a point to try and do more drafts. But if you're not into Foundations, let me know that too. And hey, if you want to hear our opinion about Foundations cards for Cube, Arena Cube specifically, we have a podcast called The Jank Tank, which you can also find on our YouTube channel. And we just released our reviews, or 1 review of our mainline Cube, talking about Foundations cards, and we're going to be releasing the peasant version of that within the next week. So thanks for hanging out. I hope you learned something from this draft, and let me know if you want to see more. I'm Timothy with JankDiverTim. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time.